Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Monday, September 15th, a sad Monday for the fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers as they were 31-17 losers to the Seattle Seahawks in the home opener at Acrisure Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Home opener has been a bit of a sore spot for the Steelers as of late. I think they've won just 2 of their last 10. I went back and rewatched a good portion of this game on offense, specifically for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and specifically looking at the offensive line. I feel like that's one of the most difficult areas for me to watch in-game as I'm on the sideline on the press box view, and so I don't get a lot of I'm looking edge on at the offensive line all the time. One of the things I noted immediately after the game, though, was that after week 1, Mike Tomlin said that his quarterback was getting hit too much and pointed at the play of young tackles Troy Fautanu and Broderick Jones as one of the reasons for that. Aaron Rodgers was hit 7 times in week 1 against the New York Jets, hit 9 times in week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks, more if you count his scramble. And so clearly whatever Mike Tomlin attempted to implement about Aaron Rodgers getting hit too much after week 1 did not work. And I don't think the old punching bag is there for the beating this time, as I specifically looked at the game footage of Broderick Jones and confirmed my initial impression that I thought he played pretty well, especially dealing with what I consider to be a pretty solid defensive front. Not maybe great, but I think the Seahawks, we talked a lot about how they can use simulated pressure to really confuse the defense. An offense. And, I thought they looked the part. Boye Mafe, one of my favorite pass rushers in the NFL. And I thought Broderick Jones did a pretty good job with him. Troy Fautanu struggled a little bit. I think he was not as good as he was in his first game. I don't really expect problems with Troy Fautanu in the big picture. But when you look at why Aaron Rodgers is getting hit so much, it's mostly Aaron Rodgers. I mean, not to say that he's the problem, but he's in control of how long he holds on to the football. And you see in some of these instances, guys not open, guys not really open, maybe the first read not open, and now he's trying to move off to a second and third read. And if the Steelers are serious about Aaron Rodgers not taking this many hits, and they say they are, so take them at their word, I think the biggest person they need to get through to is Aaron Rodgers. He's got to find a way to get rid of the ball. The Steelers receivers are not suddenly going to become better at separating. This is not a group that has an elite separator among them anywhere. A little bit open might be all they have to offer. And you saw in the red zone, DK Metcalf and Darnell Washington make contested catches when they weren't that open. Saw Pat Freiermuth make a really contested catch, also dropped one. DK Metcalf had a couple drops too. Like, that might be as good as the Steelers offense could be. And I don't mean for this episode to harp on the Steelers offense in general, because I don't think that's where the problems lie. The Steelers offense doesn't have an overwhelming amount of talent and has had its team in the game twice in a row now, scoring 34 points in the opener, 17 points here. If you told me that the Steelers offense was averaging 25.5 points per game, I would probably consider the Steelers being 2-0 with a couple of easy wins. That hasn't happened because of the struggles in the defense. But like I said, really wanted to go back and rewatch that offensive line, because there was a lot of people when we got in the live chat yesterday talking about Broderick Jones. And my initial thought process was I thought he played pretty well. I now definitely think that he played pretty well. And we'll see if he's able to continue that. Obviously, one game doesn't mean much. You got to keep stacking game after game. But I think there's a step down in difficulty for me when I look at the edge rushers on the New England Patriots next week. So, yeah, I don't think it was an offensive line problem. I think it's a separation problem. And Aaron Rodgers, look, if he's okay with taking 9 hits a game because he wants to extend the play and he wants to try to get it done, fine. But I'm not sure that a 41-year-old can survive this level of punishment over a 17-game season. I think that's why the Steelers are concerned. And they've got to find a way to either scheme some guys open or convince Aaron Rodgers they need to throw the ball when guys really aren't that open. All right, that's all I got for this morning. Lots more coming up today as we continue to break down this first loss of the Steelers season. Afternoon Drive, me and Smitty here on the channel at 6 o'clock. Stay tuned for that. Until next time, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and enjoy.